chapter 10, that is the which is of the subject child psychology. In this chapter we will be looking after school and child development. What is the influence of the school for the child's development? Here a child personality is influenced by his school, in which school he is being admitted, that schools what they teach, through that the personality of a child has been developed. There he comes into contact with his teachers and his colleagues. At home, the child ideals as his parents, and the school he forms his ideals around his teachers. A child hates a teacher who is cruel and use a stick. He tries to revenge himself on such a teacher, but if the teacher is kind and considerate, the child loves and worships him. Both the personality of a teacher and his behavior toward a child influence the child's personality. A teacher is bigger than a child in size as well as in mental stature, and he can make many demands upon a child. For the reason, the child likes the idea of developing to the same size as the teacher. At home, the child identifies himself with his parents, while in school, he identifies himself with the teacher. So, the teacher's standards of living, modes of behavior, conduct, etc., all affect the student. Putting in brief, every quality, good or bad, of the teacher that is manifest in his behavior towards the child leaves some influence upon the child's mind. ಇದರರ್ಥ ಸ್ಕೂಲಿನ ವಾತಾವರಣ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಅವರ ಟೀಚರ್ ಯಾರನ್ನು ಅವರು ತುಂಬ ಅತಿಯಾಗಿ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಟೀಚರ್ ವರ್ತನೆ ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಟೀಚರ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಅವರು ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಜೊತೆ ನಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಗೆ ಗೌರವದಿಂದ ಅವರನ್ನು ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಹೇಗೆ ಗಂಭೀರವಾಗಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರೇನಾದ್ರು ಕ್ರೂವೆಲ್ಲಾಗಿ ವರ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ, ಬರೀ ಕೋಲಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾತಾಡಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅಂಥ ಟೀಚರ್ನ ಅವರು ಯಾವತ್ತಿದ್ದು ಆ್ಯರಗೆಂಟಾಗಿ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಟೀಚರ್ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರು ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಪರಿಣಾಮ ಬೀರುತ್ತೆ. ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಆದರೆ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಟೀಚರ್ನ ಅವರು ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆ ರೀತಿ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಬಿಕೆನ ಹುಟ್ಟಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. The next is influence of playmates and class fellows. Here normally the child's class fellows in school are his playmates and friends. Class fellows ಅಂದರೆ classmates. ಸೊ ಹೇಗೆ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಜೊತೆ ಯಾರು ಆಟ ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಯಾರು ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರು ಸ್ಕೂಲಲ್ಲಿ. ದೋ ಸಮ್ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ದ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ಮೇಕ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅದರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಮೇಟ್ಸ್ನೂ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಜೂನಿಯರ್ಸ್ನೂ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಎ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿಯಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಹೈಯರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಬಿಹೇವ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಹೈ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನರ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಲೋವರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಇದು ಸರ್ವೇ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ, ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಬಾರಿ ಗಮನಿಸಿರ್ಬೋದು ತಾವುಗಳು. ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ when two children of different age levels come into contact. A older child behavior towards his junior may be either loving or cruel, for in any case the younger child treats the older with fear and respect. Another factor is the competition in matters of study that occurs between children, for it can on the other hand induce the child to develop emotions of jealousy, hatred and disgust, while on the other it may inspire him to ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ವಯಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅಂಥವ್ರನ್ನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ವಯಸ್ಸಿನಿರೋರನ್ನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ, ದೊಡ್ಡವರು ಇವ್ರನ್ನ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿ ಆಟದ ವಸ್ತು ಥರ ನೋಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಏನಾದರೂ ಸಣ್ಣ ಏಜಿನ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇವ್ರು ಆಟದ ವಸ್ತು ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಇದು ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಏಜ್ ಗ್ರೂಪು ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲುಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್. ಯಾವ ಗ್ರೂಪಲ್ಲಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲುಯೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಟು ಕೌಂಟ್, ಬಟ್ ದ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲುಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಪಾನ್ ಅ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲುಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕೊಲೀಗ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ಲೇ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್. Children tend to form groups with those boys or girls either with whom they play or the ones with whom they indulge to mischief. These groups compete with each other, while within the group there are always wrangles for leadership. Within each group, each particular child occupies a definite place and plays a distinct role. Each group has a complement of recognized members and an encourage of those who attend themselves to the group. There is a leader within the group whose inmate friends form the inner circle of the group. It is the function of the leader to look after the functioning of the gang, to the thinking for the gang, and be in a mainstay and its moral support. In certain groups, the brain is provided by one child and the action by the other. It is for the brain to draw up the plans and the daredevil to carry them out. Another common feature of such group is the comedian or jester whose sole function is to play the fool and to keep his group amused. It is possible for such groups to have one child playing the role of the scapegoat. ಫಂಕ್ಷಿಯರ್ ದಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲೇ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಲೀಡರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಿ ಆರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಮಾನಿಟರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಲೀಡರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರಿಗೇ ಸಪೋರ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಟೀಮ್ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲೇ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಲೀಡರ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಲೀಡರ್ಗೆ ಸಪೋರ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಪೋರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಅವ್ರ ಕೈಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾನೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ ತಲುಪಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲೇ ಒಂಥರ ಗ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಲೀಡರು ಇವನು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಲೀಡರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವನನ್ನು ತುಂಬ ಗೌರವದಿಂದ ಕಾಣೋದು, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ತುಂಬ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಥರ ಒಂದು ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಗಮನಿಸ್ಬೋದು. ದೆನ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಸೆಂಟಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊದಲನೇದು ಪ್ರೆಮನೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಗ್ರೂಪ್. ಎ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಇನ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ರೋಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ should possess certain degree of permanence or physical stability. Naturally, some students join the college every year while others leave it. Some change is always going on in the shape of additional buildings, staff members changing their colleges, etc. But despite this change, there is some permanence of the average student who spends 2 to 4 years in one college, while in exceptional case the period even extends from 10 to 12 years. If the teachers in the school are not unnecessarily changed at a rapid rate and some of the college has a distinct nature, the students derived a sense of permanence and the realization that the college has a distinct nature. This can help them to develop a community feeling which is part of their greater community feeling comprehending the society as a whole. ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರೆಮಿನೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಈ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಕಟ್ಟಡ ಸ್ಥಿರವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಆದರೆ ಟೀಚರ್ಸು ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಥಿರವಾಗಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಕೂಡ 1ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಂದ 12ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ವರೆಗೂ ಒಂದೇ ಸ್ಕೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಅವ್ರ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಯಾವ ಕೆಲಸದ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಜಾಗ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಅವ್ರ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವಾತಾವರಣ ಕೂಡ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ಸ್ಕೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟಾಗಿ ಓದ್ತಾನೋ ಸೊ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಒಂಥರ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ಡ್ ಫೀಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಏನೋ ಒಂಥರ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಫೀಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಸೊಸೈಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಒಂಥರ ಫೀಲ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಕೂಲು, ವಾತಾವರಣ, ಟೀಚರ್ಸು ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಭದ್ರತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Then next is study of the form of a group by members and the members' understanding of its duty and functions. Each student and member of the college group, he can have community feeling for only if he learns to regard to us as a group, realizes the duty that he has to perform as a student, and has knowledge of the college rules and methods of working. For this reason, it is desirable for the teachers to introduce their new students every year to the institutions as it is, what it stands for, how things are run in it, and what is expected of the newcomers. It is only in these circumstances that each student will be able to play his role in achieving the ideals of the college. Contact with other groups. Community feeling does not develop only by taking part in the functions of one's own group. It is necessary that members of different groups should intermingle. Occasions for such contact can be developed by organizing debates, discussions, dramatic performances, games, and sports. But on all such occasions, it is necessary that the feeling of the contestants for each other should be those of friendliness and respect. Should these feelings be lacking, the healthy development of any community feeling is not easy. In all such programs, students come to regard themselves as respectives of a particular college with which they identify themselves. It is for the honor of this institution that they have to fight. Community feeling will inevitably result. The next, development of community tradition. In a college, as in every other group, the members keep on changing every year, but the community life of the group can be maintained for years at time if the community tradition is developed. Old students who keep up their contact and their old college play an important role. The Old Boys Association can perform a useful function by renewing contact with the newer generation of students and the holding meetings and thus keeping alive the traditions of the colleges. Many colleges and universities are famous for some particular tradition. Some colleges can boast of a fine tradition of discipline, while another college may be producing the best students. If the old students and teachers are successful in keeping up these traditions every year, the newcomers are encouraged to do their best. In this manner, the communal life of the college runs smoothly. The next is division of labor among members. In every group, different individuals are entrusted with the performance of different duties. Without this division of labor, the life of a group cannot run smoothly. In a school or college, in particular, it's desirable that individual students should be entrusted with the task of looking after the discipline, the gardens, the lawns, the classrooms, the library, and the reading room, etc., and of organizing cultural programs. If the student is compelled to perform such functions, he learns to shoulder responsibility and to take decisions on his own. Besides, he feels some personal interest in the functioning of the college, and this gives vitality to his understanding of the community spirit. In addition to the above factors pointed by MacDonald, certain other means can be adopted by the development of the group mind in students. If meetings of certain college are held from time to time, the students develop a sense of identity. If students' parents are invited to cultural programs, healthy atmosphere is generated in the college. Teachers of literature, music, and art can contribute to the life of the college by making their teaching more colorful. So, these are the points that are related for the growth of the community sentiments. That is, preeminence of the group, study of the form of the group by members, contact with other groups, development of community tradition, division of labor among members. These are the points. And how school and child how school indirectly plays a role in child's personality, as well as the child with whom he mingles with his playmates or the class fellows or the group in which he is involved. These are the points that I discussed in this chapter.